Super Prime Time.
Let's say good evening to our guest tonight. It's a compressed panel, but a crisp one, because the debate is also very engaging. So good to have this panel here, and let's hope we have a nice engaging debate, gentlemen. Good evening to all of you. Sanjeev Srivastava, Ravi Srivastava, CM Dhananjaya. Good evening. They all believe that this is a political vendetta, sazish hai, sazish. To settle scores, Gaurav Bhatia, Zafar Sareshwala, Sunit Chopra. You all believe that this matter needs investigation. Good to see Sunit Chopra on the other side today. But we'll see why. Because somewhere or the other, मुझे लग रहा है ये किस्सा कहीं घूमेगा. But before we get into all that, ladies and gentlemen, कुछ यादें ताज़ा कर लेते हैं. Let's get back into flashback mode. Circa 2012, Rajya Sabha. The current finance minister was in the opposition, and the former finance minister was trading the charges. There was an engagement which happened around Aircel Maxis. Quite dramatic at that. Mr. Chidambaram was in a different mode that day. I just want to bring those memories back before we dive into the debate. Have a look, please.
Some transactions have taken place between the company transferring the shares and somebody connected to the Honorable Minister. I will refrain from taking any names.
We own no share at any time, indirectly or directly, in Aircel or Global Communication or Maxis.
No, it has been alleged. You so far answered what I have not alleged. What I have alleged is, on the eve of such a controversial FIPB clearance, why was Advantage Strategic Consultants, a company connected to persons connected with you, entering into financial transactions with the company which was the investee company?
The company which made the investment is controlled by one Mr. Rajesh and his wife. A member of my family did put in $1,80,000 to help his friend, but then has since transferred the shares. The company belongs to him. I don't wish to reveal private conversations, but I still maintain that. It would be much simpler if somebody took a dagger and plunged it into my heart rather than question my integrity.
Our concern is not to really hold a dagger into somebody's heart. Companies are floated, friends are shareholders, you enter the company on a later date. 6 years later, when we are reinvestigating the fact, you have to look at the footprints that they've left behind.
If you examine the transactions of 2005-6, and you find that Advantage Consulting has rendered services, raised bills and collected the money, 26 lakhs, 444 rupees, if you examine that, all these so-called footprints have no relevance whatsoever. So all you need to is examine the books of account. Please examine the books of account. But let me categorically state, no member of my family or no member of my family or I has any equity, indirectly or directly, in any telecom company, including Aircel or Max.
Two things that stood out as we listen to that. One is that name, Advantage Strategic Consultancy Private Limited. And the other is the political theatre that was on display. Amazing. Mr. Chidambaram with that emotion outpouring, Gaurav Bhatia, when he said, plunge a dagger through my heart rather than question my integrity. And we all said, wow. And today, the same Mr. Chidambaram pushed the mics away. He pushed the mics away, Gaurav Bhatia in Bengaluru. He didn't want to answer questions. He just pushed them away. So if it was drama or melodrama on the floor of the upper house in 2012, today it was another optic. It was a studied silence and this brushing away of the hand.
Yeah.
दूर हो जाओ मुझसे, मैं नहीं करूंगा बात. That was the emotion that he was trying to portray. And Gaurav Bhatia, what happens is, sir, there are, you're a lawyer yourself, and there are others who understand law. There is Adalat, now there is this media ki Adalat, but the biggest and the most powerful is the Janta ki Adalat. And for the people, sir, when people come out and say no comments, इसमें कोई तथ्य नहीं है, ये political vendetta है, ये political conspiracy है, सुपारी journalism है, media की साजिश है. When they come out and say all this, when politicians come out and say no comments, Gaurav Bhatia, we all know in our head we are thinking झूठ बोल रहा है.
Anand, I would only say that at that time it was dramatics and rhetorics, and today what we saw was again very disappointing for every Indian who was waiting to hear from a former finance minister, a senior person like Mr. P. Chidambaram. The CBI raid has unearthed very, very serious pieces of evidence which connect Mr. Karti Chidambaram directly, and they clearly reveal that there have been kickbacks to him. There is a quid pro quo. He's helping a company which was seeking permission from FIPB and which comes directly under the finance ministry. I am very surprised that there are only two ways to counter these allegations if these are false. One is, as you correctly said, Janta ki Adalat. That there is a political vendetta, you are being targeted because of political reasons. You spell out your version, you say that this is the truth and I have come clean. And we saw that whether it was Karti Chidambaram or Mr. P. Chidambaram, who's a very eminent and respected lawyer, they were evasive completely. They did not say a word. And second is, if you feel that you are being targeted, you can move the court. And for a malified investigation, there is a Bhajan Lal case, a very famous one, and the court would quash the FIR and the charge sheet. But with my experience as a lawyer, I can tell you, whatever material has come forward, like 305 crore investment that has come to India without the FIPB clearance, because Mr. Karti Chidambaram and companies close to Karti were advising INX, is very serious. There are investments made in Argentina, there are investments made in the UK, which are very serious.
Yes, which is why we are calling it, a worldwide web.
You said
that we are looking into, Gaurav, which is why we are calling it a worldwide web with companies that are linked and big names. So just to put it in perspective for our viewers, there are two separate big names and there are two separate big deals, viewers. Point number one is INX Media, in connection to which the raids were conducted today. The allegation there is, and we've got a copy of the FIR, so everything that we are saying is actually as per the FIR. It's not that we are cooking it up. These are the words in the FIR. That they approached Karti Chidambaram when their proposal application got stuck for the clearance by the government for foreign investment. And it is that company that advised them how to go about it,
Tanvi, if I could add to
to get in more money. Yeah, Gaurav. The second one which Times Now has brought out is another deal. And this is to a company, Diageo, viewers, if you remember.
Right,
Diageo is the company that came in finally and bought United Spirits and kind of helped Vijay Mallya with his retirement plan as he escaped India. Now that company sought, again, the same Advantage Strategic Consultancy's help for appointments with the finance minister and the prime minister at that point of time. The finance minister being P. Chidambaram. So I ask those people who say it is political vendetta tonight, what do you have to say to these specific points? Mr. Dhananjay, why don't you start? These are actual facts that have been stated in the FIR and documents that have been accessed by Times Now. Why is it that companies are approaching companies linked to Karti Chidambaram for appointments and help with P. Chidambaram?
No, let me start from this. The Income Tax Department, Central Bureau of Investigation and Enforcement Directorate are conducting raids on the houses and offices and premises, other premises of many persons. But all those persons belonging to Congress parties or other parties other than the BJP. This itself shows there is an intentionally there is a backing of the central government.
If that is your charge, if that is your charge, you call it selective crackdown. How does that make any of this right?
On merits.
How does that
why don't you first answer on merits? Are these not doing transactions?
Because my question to you very clearly was, इसमें political vendetta क्या है? इसमें political vendetta क्या है, Mr. Dhananjay?
You are trying to draw an inference, whereas we are asking you to answer on merits. Merits of this case. Are these not dubious transactions? Is this not serious? Should it not be probed?
Okay, let's see. Let's hear him out.
Let's first discuss this case, and we will also discuss the larger picture. Do you think that these charges are serious or not?
Gaurav Bhatia, he's saying all other parties other than the BJP, this government is investigating, and he's trying to establish how and why. Let's see what is the case he's trying to build.
Thank you. Very nice. Absolutely.
Now let me answer that.
Wait, Gaurav. Wait, Gaurav. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Please, go ahead, sir.
Sir, since the last 3 years, since the central government, the BJP government has come to the power, they started to dismantle the government in Karnataka example.
Correct.
They started writing.
What has that got to do with Aircel Max's deal?
And MLS.
Can you stick to the subject matter of the debate?
I'm coming to you, sir.
Okay. No, sir. Mr. Dhananjay, when did the Aircel Max's deal happen?
Here.
Okay.
No, I interconnect you, sir.
I am connecting it. Please understand. When did the Aircel Max's deal happen? 2005, 2006. When we played out this debate, it happened in 2012. Who was in government then?
Sir, we are not conducting a trial.
Who was in government? Who was in government then? Did you raid?
No, I am just coming to you.
Okay, Mr. Dhananjay.
I am coming to you.
Who was in power?
The BJP. Sir, yes.
Since you are asking questions on political vendetta and selective crackdown, I am asking you, sir, do you have any rights to point fingers at anybody else when the Supreme Court called the CBI a caged parrot when UPA was in power, led by the Congress party?
Sir. Now we are talking.
Anand, can I please come
So when I ask you that, now we are talking something else. Mr. Dhananjay, when I ask you that, now we are talking something else. Okay, tell me, Mr. Dhananjay. Tell me, Mr. Dhananjay. I like to keep things simple. One second. I like to keep things simple.
I will come to you, sir.
I'll come to you now, sir. Let me come to you, sir. Please allow me, sir. I have a very small point. Please understand this. I'll keep things very simple. You are Mr. Dhananjay. Let's say you have a brother, or your son, or somebody known to you, who knows you very well, who has access to you. You practically live in the same house. I come to this person and say, I would like to meet Mr. Dhananjay because he is a very important person. I want to set up a business in your country. Will you please introduce me to him? Can I meet him, please? And this person who can call you up and say, listen, sir, these people want to invest in our country, bring them in. Why don't you meet them? Says, you pay me $15,000 and then I'll fix the meeting. This is fair. Is this fair?
Sir, this is the story. This is not.
Is this fair?
Okay, you are giving.
Sir, 15,000. Is this fair? Is this fair? 10 lakh rupees, sir. 10 lakh rupees as per today.
They want to give
10 lakh rupees as per today. 10 lakh rupees. The son is charging. Son is charging to have a fixed meeting with the father.
That the Congress leaders.
Sir, I'm asking you. Is that fair? Sir, like I told you, the CBI can do its raids and to make a case in courts. The people know, sir, what is happening. They need to understand. They can draw the link. I am asking you, Mr. Dhananjay, will you pay somebody?
To answer to your question, I want to give you an example, sir.
What example, sir? Tell me, sir.
To answer example, how the BJP leaders are misusing these following agencies.
What has my question got to do with BJP? What has my question got to do with BJP? I asked you a simple question.
To answer that, I'm coming to you, sir. Allow me to answer, sir. Please, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Just
and Gaurav Bhatia rebut after he finishes.
Because, sir, what I request you to tell, because I like to inform you that there is a Karnataka chief, BJP chief, has stated earlier, stating that there is so many wickets is going to fall in Karnataka. That means he stated that income tax raid is going to be taken place among the 3 ministers.
So why do you have to worry if you have done nothing wrong?
So
why do you have to worry if you have done nothing wrong?
No.
Why do you have to worry?
No, that shows that the act.
That shows that you have something to hide.
Why do you
That
worry?
shows that. That's what I am trying to say, Mr. Dhananjay.
They want.
That's what I'm trying to say. The questions I ask you, you have no answers to. Yes, Gaurav Bhatia. Yes, Gaurav Bhatia.
I will say that the trial will take place. This is all. This is
Dhananjay ji, just listen to me. Dhananjay ji, you know.
Yes, sir.
Dhananjay ji, please hear me out. See, the law is same for everyone and no one is above the law. And if these investigations or raids would not have taken place, then you would target the BJP saying that we promised that we will eradicate corruption from the country, but we have not acted. Let me tell you, in the 2G case also, the Honorable Supreme Court ordered a CBI investigation. And at that time, Mr. Kapil Sibal, a very senior leader of the Congress, came out with this theory, zero loss to the exchequer. We all know what happened after that. The Colgate scam, you know, the Vadra land scam. And on top of that, you bring in a CBI director who is himself corrupt.
Only the investigation is started is whether you must know whether they declared
when Congress had no will to fight corruption, now the BJP feels very happy to at least offer to the people of the country.
Let him just rebut what Gaurav Bhatia is saying. And the point that Gaurav Bhatia is trying to make. Gaurav, got your point. Got your point. Every time, Mr. Dhananjay, is that the only defense? Political vendetta? Why don't you let the investigative agencies do their job and see what the result is?
Yes.
Before we go to our other panelists.
How come, see, Income Tax Department cannot give a publicity so much? You know that Income Tax Department, without asserting, how do we know that the declared assets, whatever they found now is the declared assets. They cannot come to, within a day, they cannot come to the conclusion. How? They want the publicity. They want before the common person to show that...
If you have nothing to hide, why are you bothered?
This is the CBI, sir. 1 minute. This is the CBI.
Why do you bother? Because we start
this is the CBI. The Enforcement Directorate, for the sake of the reputation, I am given to understand in the other case that is already going on in the top court, and I am sure you know about it, Mr. Dhananjay. The findings of the Enforcement Directorate have been given in a sealed envelope to the judge, and whatever is there is still secret, and the judiciary will decide what is wrong, whether some wrong was done or not, and who was involved.
What I like to say,
so
how
instead of taking specific questions and giving us the answers,
and became a public because they want a publicity. They want a publicity. They want to create an impression among the public that the Congress leaders are dishonest and the BJP people are honest. That is what they wanted to create it. But anyhow, after the investigation, we come to know that how far, because ultimately there is a court.
Okay, Gaurav, now wait on a minute, because we've got other panelists. They haven't got a chance. They haven't got a chance. Gaurav Bhatia, this will go on forever. I will come back to you. I will come back to you on the allegation that you also made. And of course, it is a known fact, Ravi Srivastava. The fact is that CBI was a case carried during UPS time. Perhaps they are still living in that mindset, and they still believe that that's how it functions even now.
No, in Karnataka it's happened before, right?
The primary thing is that, first of all, I got no love and affection for Mr. Chidambaram and his family, because perhaps Aam Aadmi Party was the first which has come out with a list of 15 most corrupt ministers of the UPA in that time, and Mr. Chidambaram's name was appearing right on the top. Point is, what I'm questioning here is that it's a question of timing now. The timing is such. Now, BJP, the center, is trying to demolish all democratically elected other governments and trying to misuse CBI for that purpose.
So effectively, are you saying that they shouldn't act, they shouldn't investigate any cases of corruption, bribery, wrongdoing, money laundering? If it is the Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress Party or the TMC or the RJD or the JDU,
I'll tell you,
should they only investigate BJP people?
I'll tell you the funny part of it. The funny part is, this case happened the INX media in 2007, and 10 years later, you are going to search those premises and searching for the documents over there. Isn't it ridiculous or funny? What will they find over there? And you have got a man like P. Chidambaram, he'll tear apart the entire CBI or ED or CVC, anybody on this score. I'm telling you, because you have delayed it too long.
Correct.
If you had to do it, you would have woken up at the right time.
Who delayed it?
You did not. You delayed it and delayed it to such an extent.
Who delayed it?
This government was waiting for 3 years. What were they doing over here?
आपने flashback कब का देखा? 2012 का.
That is the parliament debate.
किसकी थी?
What I'm saying,
सरकार किसकी थी तब? यूपीए की. If they have buried the evidence, then they would have buried the evidence. But if this government, even after so many years, is able to,
Anand,
and if the authorities today, let me tell you, Mr. Ravi Srivastava, please tell me, if after the raids today, if they have found an incriminating evidence, if they find even one link, and if they are able to bring the perpetrators and the alleged and prove the allegations, will you not commend them for doing their job?
Let the person be hanged. But what I am telling you is,
now the other thing. Now the other thing.
3 years you have been keeping quiet. You have not been doing anything.
Now the other thing.
Suddenly you got Lalu. Suddenly you got.
Now here's the problem. Here's the problem.
TMC. Suddenly you got.
I'll tell you what the issue. Wait. I'll tell you what the issue. Gaurav Bhatia, please wait. I'm bringing in Zafar Sareshwala. Zafar Sareshwala here. Zafar Sareshwala, here's the problem. Here's the problem. अगर एक्शन लो तो वेंडेटा, एक्शन ना लो तो जुमला. Now the problem is, sir, that in our country गिरते पड़ते इलेक्शन होते हैं. तो क्या मुहूर्त निकालें अब कि भाई ये महीना गलत है, this month is wrong because इस स्टेट में इलेक्शन है, next month is a problem because this person might not be in town, the third month उस वक्त करते हैं. Let's do it then. Let's do it then.
रमन सिंह का पीडीएस नहीं दिखता, आपको ये दिखता है.
वहाँ ठीक है सर,
उन्हें भी रेड करिए ना, उन्हें भी तो पकड़िए जाकर.
व्यापम इज कोर्ट मॉनिटर, ठीक है.
सीबीआई को देने के बाद से
आपको 2 करोड़ दिखा, आपको 2 करोड़ दिखा, आपको 2 करोड़ दिखा, आपको 96 करोड़ दिखा, आपको सत्येंद्र जैन दिखा, आपको 50 करोड़ का फार्मलैंड दिखा, नहीं दिखा. जो आपको नहीं दिखा, वो सबको दिखा. जो आपको नहीं दिखा वो सबको दिखा. आपको अभी सिर्फ बीजेपी दिखता है. The pun is intended. Yes, Zafar Sareshwala.
कपिल मिश्रा बेहोश हो गए.
Yes, Zafar Sareshwala. लेकिन उनका आरोप तो सही था, उसका खंडन भी तो नहीं किया, उसको गलती बना. चलिए डिबेट चिदम्बरम का है, आम आदमी पार्टी का नहीं. Yes, Zafar Sareshwala. Let's get back to Mr. Chidanbaram. The Chidanbaram files.
वो बेहोश हो गए. वो टाइम पूछते ही बेहोश हो गए. सर आप बताइए ना, 2 करोड़ कब देखे उन्होंने?
Anand, you know, the 10 years of UPA, the worst form of institutional and policy level corruption was being propagated and followed. Now, you know, this FIPB, if an ordinary soul like me would have got money, and without FIPB approval, if I would have used that money, FEMA, income tax, enforcement would have been after me. Because the most dangerous form of corruption is the institutional level and the policy level corruption. And this is tip of the iceberg. And the best part of Modi government is that Mr. Modi has stopped that level of corruption.
Whether
if you go to any big institutions today,
sir, this is one thing. Zafar Sareshwala,
I was asking,
sir, they are cracking down.
No, I'll tell you
like
what.
I said, दे रहा है दुरुस्त है पर बहुत देर तो नहीं करती.
I'm saying that.
No, I'm not saying that. Because आज मुझे बहुत सारे मुहावरे याद आ रहे हैं.
One minute.
अब जाके क्या हो जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत? That is also possible. Have they already flown the coop? We don't know. So, sir, I don't know. I will give the government, or this government can take credit the day they prove these charges in court. Sir, this government can take credit, and I hold that the day they can prove these charges in court, the faster they do it, the better. If they have completed the raids today, if they have found even one document or one disc or one line that points a finger at the accused named in the FIR on the FIPB clearance to INX Media, that is Karti Chidambaram, Peter Mukherjee and Indrani Mukherjee, without delay, sir, tomorrow they should question Peter and Indrani and draw the link. But if they don't do that and if they delay it, then the argument for political vendetta stands.
Anand,
FIPB is closed. It's over now.
FIPB
Anand,
is over.
1 minute.
But 16 clearances are under question, sir. 16 clearances.
10 seconds.
Yes.
10 seconds. All FIPB approvals of those times should be investigated. And the best part which is happening now, at least people are saying that phone आना बंद हो गए. Phone आना बंद हो गए. In those 10 years, everything used to happen with a phone call. दिल्ली से फोन आता था और चीजें हो जाती थी. At least वो बंद हो गया है. वो जो मोदी साहब ने बोला था, ना मैं खाऊंगा
ना मैं खाने दूंगा, उसका कुछ नजर आ रहा है. And I hope this does not only remain to CBI and it should go to
the point effectively is when you say that they are going after all these people because they want to target the Congress or the Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party aside, because that's a very different amusing story now, really, and disappointing on another level. But the fact is, for far too long, these other netas and these other political parties have gone on and they have sucked the money out of the system. They've worked all over the common man's interest and they've indulged in massive levels of corruption. So if today the government who promised to end that corruption starts looking into those deals, please don't turn around and say everything is a political vendetta.
Absolutely.
I remember Ravi Srivastava, even when Congress used to defend Robert Wada earlier, they used to say, come, investigate, show us the proof, take us to court, do this, do that. If you have an allegation, prove it. Now when an investigation is happening, every second day Congress turns around and calls it political vendetta.
Again,
why is that? You will question the timing.
Again, Tanvi, election speeches, Mr. Modi was saying, the moment this government comes in, Mr. Vadra will be behind the bar.
Well, the investigation is on, and what are we seeing? Huda will not cooperate. Huda will not cooperate. Others will not turn up for questioning.
Now,
the Congress party will jump and say this is all political vendetta. That's the whole point. I just want to go across.
Now, when the government is caught up on the Pak border, on Sukma massacre, on Kashmir issues, on EVM machines, on
because the CBI and the enforcement, because the CBI and the enforcement directorate haven't done anything for the past few months, suddenly they woke up today and said let's go raid, because that's how it functions. So, but that's another. I mean, you do know there's a case in the Supreme Court, right? And the enforcement directorate has done its investigation there. We'll see what the proof is. Sanjeev Srivastava, I want to come to you again. Now, this is something that Mr. Chidambaram has said in his defense. FIPB approval is granted in hundreds of cases. The 5 secretaries who constitute the FIPB, the officials of the FIPB secretariat, and the competent authority in each case are public officials. And so there is no allegation against any of them or me. Now, if the point here is to say that there are hundreds of cases that come in FIPB that are looked into and you can't really hold me accountable for any of it. My question is, are all of those cases also being given advice, and are they also consulting and paying a service charge to this company called Advantage Strategic Consultancy? Is that what was happening? Because these are specific deals where questions are being raised. Let alone, let's not even think about a possible, a quid pro quo. Is there not a basic conflict of interest here?
See, I don't think Chidambaram or for that matter Lalu Prasad Yadav have anywhere to hide today. What they must, with all grace right now, do is, so enough of this talk about political vendetta, which by the way is not completely incorrect. But the fact of the matter is, if they have done something illegal, then they need to be probed. If they have not done anything wrong, then they need not be afraid of it. But the bigger question is, which we should also talk about. Who are the two biggest voices, two most vocal voices today in Indian polity against NDA government, Mr. Narendra Modi's government? I think they are Lalu Prasad Yadav and P. Chidambaram. So it's interesting coincidence that they are the ones who are being targeted. At the same time, you cannot hold a brief for them because a lot of people rightfully think that these cases need to be investigated. Now Mr. Chidambaram or Karthik may say that it is political vendetta, we are being targeted, लेकिन आनंद बार-बार हिंदी में अच्छे जुमले बोलते हैं, तो एक बार मेरे को 1960s की इंडिया की फर्स्ट मल्टी स्टारर फिल्म थी, जुमले, अरे मतलब मुहावरे, तो उस फिल्म का नाम था वक्त, जिसमें राजकुमार ने कहा था कि जिनके अपने घर शीशे के होते हैं वो दूसरों के घर पे पत्थर नहीं महका करते, चिनाई सेठ रहमान को बोला था. सो द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज कि अगर आपको इस समय शांति से रहना है तो टफ ग्लास से बने हुए हैं, चुप रहो, तो थोड़े बहुत पत्थर झेल लेते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है. द टफ एंड ग्लास जो है ना, उस विजय बहुगुना,
so the jokes apart, Sanjeev,
कांग्रेस छोड़ के बीजेपी में गए तो उनके वो ईमानदार हो गए। हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा आसाम में जो
सर आप सबूत लाइए, हम खड़े करते हैं उसको, आप सबूत लाइए, हम दिखाते हैं, जनता की अदालत में तो पेश कर देंगे, कोर्ट में पेश होना हो जनता की अदालत में पेश कर देंगे। बट गौरव भाटिया वांटेड टू रिस्पॉन्ड एंड देन गौरव भाटिया
अभी समाजवादी पार्टी से भाजपा में आए हैं, अभी आए हैं,
but he's always had a straightforward position on corruption.
उससे कोई फर्क पड़ता है क्या?
I have to hand over to Gaurav Bhatia that he's never taken sides on corruption.
आज का जो मुद्दा है उस पे हम चर्चा करेंगे, आप मेरे पे डिस्कशन करिए। चलिए सुनिए मेरी बात। First of all, people have been saying
चुप रहो या बीजेपी में हो जाओ, नहीं तो तुम्हारी काली कट।
I had asked a question to Sanjeev. I didn't get an answer to it. Sanjeev, don't you think there is still a conflict of interest? Whether or not there was some kind of quid pro quo or a scam or whatever it is, let the agencies decide. But that much the Congress party and perhaps they need to accept.
There is more than conflict of interest.
Yes.
There is more than conflict of interest. If these allegations are true, then it's Prevention of Corruption Act which applies.
Yes.
It's more than it's conflict of interest is something more moral. There is a definite legal point angles involved.
Exactly. So there is something here. There are some merits to this case which must be looked into. And my point exactly was that, Sanjeev, that they have to get to the bottom of it. Let's not give any kind of cover to them right away to say political vendetta or this is what BJP wants to do, or that this is BJP's agenda. Gaurav Bhatia, go ahead, please. Sorry for that interjection.
आपका जितना लंबा सवाल होता है उतना उत्तर देने का समय चाह
no issues. A few important points. First of all, how is it that the election affidavit of Mr. Karti Chidambaram is different from all the facts that are coming out today? His election affidavit did not mention even about the assets or the foreign investment. That itself shows that, somewhere he is guilty of the wrongdoings. Second, certain people said that why this delay by this government. Let me tell them the facts. That in December 2015, the ED raided the premises of Mr. Karti Chidambaram. They found incriminating material and they have been investigating him in other cases also. And yesterday, they registered another FIR where Mr. Karti Chidambaram is named. And after that, without wasting time, the CBI has raided the premises. Now, if the CBI is raiding the premises of Mr. Karti Chidambaram and Lalu Prasad Yadav and Meesa Bharti, and everyone is saying, look at the timing, I would say this is the biggest proof that CBI is autonomous now. Otherwise, if there was any political interference, it could have been planned better. So it clearly reveals that CBI is independent and autonomous, and irrespective of what the dispensation feels, the opposition party feels, or any other person feels, they are acting and they are not informing the person who are raiding like it used to happen in UPA too. If the CBI team is being sent somewhere, then please inform him in advance so that he can remove incriminating material. And with great pride for the BJP, I will say that Mr.
I have even heard that. I don't know if it was true, but I have heard about it. I have heard about it. This rumor around the great Sunit Chopra is not coming, but yeah, Ravi,
object to this. Only one line.
Mr. Dhananjay coming to you after that, and Zafar Sareshwala too. 1 second. One by one.
That is commendable. That is credible.
I have seen the press conference by the CBI spokesperson at 6:30 this evening, and he has clearly said that they filed FIR on 15th of May against unknown persons. All unknown persons.
No.
They mentioned name of
Karti Chidambaram. Three people are mentioned. Three people.
You are wrong.
The FIR, three people are mentioned. Indrani, Peter, and Karti Chidambaram, and unknown persons.
Unknown persons.
Yes, because there have to be officials involved, and
so they are there. They are officials.
No, he's wrong.
It's not that they are not going to question anybody.
I have the FIR.
Got it.
Name of
clarification made.
The third person is Shri Karti Chidambaram.
10:37 on the debate. Yeah, 10:37.
Sunit Chopra has not spoken. Sir, Gaurav, please, let me bring in Sunit Chopra. 37 minutes to the debate. He has not spoken. We've made the point. We made the point to Ravi Srivastava about the FIR. We've made the point, Gaurav.
No, Karti Chidambaram is
point made. Point made. Gaurav, can you hear me? Sir, point made. I have said it. I have said it, sir. Can we move on, please?
Yes.
Please.
Thank you.
Mr. Sunit Chopra. Sir, Sanjeev Srivastava made a point.
Hello.
Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava, Zafar Sareshwala and Mr. Dhananjay are coming to you, sir. Sanjeev Srivastava made a point he said Lalu Prasad and Chidambaram, Mr. Chidambaram made the same excuse, saying they are one of the most vocal and outspoken people today, and that's why they are being targeted. But if they really wanted to target Lalu, and if they knew about these scams and these deals, they would have done it before the Bihar election.
No.
अगर planned होता और vendetta होता, तो बिहार के चुनाव से पहले करते सुनीत जी, है ना?
उनको मालूम नहीं था बिहार में क्या होगा। अब वो सीख गए हैं।
मैंने बोला था ना इधर एक गुगली है।
भी खेल है।
मैंने बोला था आज हमारे पैनल में गुगली है।
मणिपुर में क्या किया है सब जानते हैं।
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Chopra. I'm curious to know where you stand on what we're debating tonight.
No, I want to come to something fundamental.
Yeah.
There is no harm in taking away special rights to people who don't need them and special protection. One. Secondly, there is no harm in inquiring into a matter.
Okay.
Thirdly, I would like the NIA to change its position on Sadhvi Thakur. That's Pragya Thakur.
Okay.
And also I would like the 100-odd bits of land given to the RSS in Delhi, which in January the cabinet has cleared after them being stopped, at least 32 of them. I want
so
that
we hope
also
NIA has taken a note of this, and so has the government and the RSS. Sunil Chopra. Coming back to the point
he's got a bucket list or a wish list. And it seems to be endless.
I would like Lalit Modi to be brought back along with Mrs. Sushma Swaraj's letter. I would like that Mr. Malaya be brought back and not this drama go on between England and Modi. And more than anything else, I would like the issue of the
Sir, इतना लिख दिया भूल गए आप।
Sahara.
इतना लिखा, इतनी लंबी लिस्ट लिख दी भूल गए। But let me tell you one thing. I have only a one-line answer. I have only a one-line answer, sir. Sunil Chopra ji, I have only one-line answer. Sir, half of what you have mentioned, there is already work in process. The other half, get the relevant documents with the proof, and we will ask the questions. But here's my submission to you: कि जितनी लंबी आपकी लिस्ट होगी, जितनी भी लंबी आपकी लिस्ट होगी against the current establishment, against the left, उससे 4 पन्ने ज्यादा होंगे. Against the left and what they have done in Bengal and whenever they were part of the UPA and what they have done over the last 70 years of our independence, against the left, वो 4 पन्ने ज्यादा होंगे. And if I take only Kerala, तो सर उसमें 6 पन्ने और जुड़ जाएंगे. तो let's stick to the debate and let's stick to Chidambaram, because मैं bucket list निकालूंगा तो debate से आगे 2 घंटे और लग जाएंगे. So let's not do that.
Anand,
let's not do that, sir.
By listing some of those cases, Mr. Chopra, thank you for making the point that we would have otherwise made. Yes, Mr. Chopra. Thank you for making the point. You've actually answered some of these skeptics tonight here on the debate and otherwise through the day, because people have been turning around, Mr. Chopra, and asking the question, why is this being done now? Why didn't the government do anything for 3 years? Well, let's just say the government has had a lot on its plate because there was so much muck to clean up. They're still doing that, right from Lalit Modi to Vijay Mallya to several other cases, from Robert Vadra to Hooda to Veerbhadra, and in every single case, what we hear is it's political vendetta. Is it now, Mr. Dhananjay?
And Malaya.
Yes. So the government has been very busy, thanks to what the predecessors have left behind to be investigated and looked into. Coming back to Mr. Dhananjay. Mr. Dhananjay, you wanted to make a point.
Give me 1 minute.
Yeah,
yes.
Can I make a quick point?
I'd like to say that these agencies are not independently working.
Okay.
There are the tools at the hands of the BJP government.
You have evidence?
Why they were keeping quiet for 7 years?
Do you have evidence?
What do you mean evidence? You are clearly stating that because the government
is
now only you only clearly said
which government minister or official is actually doing this?
Now only you said that the government has instructed, that's why the CBI raided.
No, where is the evidence?
You clearly stated now that CBI raided because the government instructed.
Where is the evidence?
So
where is the evidence the government told them?
Because all this time they came, you only said now, Mr. Bartela said just now,
come in now,
that the government.
You know, sometimes Mr. Dhananjaya, I have only one submission to make, sir. If everything was in their pocket, they wouldn't have taken 3 years. If everything, everybody, every department was in their pocket.
They're taking a time, sir.
Enforcement directorate in their pocket. Income tax department in their pocket. CBI in their pocket. The courts also, you allege that they are in their pocket. Sir, if that was the case, then all these people would have been behind bars long back.
They wanted to eliminate
what behind bars? They would have been even deported.
They wanted to discourage him.
Sir, what behind bars? They would have been even deported. All their assets would have already been nationalized. All their assets would have been auctioned and the money back into the banks. All of that has not happened. Has that happened? So don't make an insinuation. My question to you, sir, it was in your pocket, sir. It was in the Congress-led government's pocket.
Yes.
Because if you cannot, you will not accept that somebody gives 15,000 rupees to your king to fix a meeting with you and you believe that it is okay, then you should have made sure as UPA that there would have been an entire inquiry into the whole matter.
It is a gamble.
If in 2012 Advantage Consultancies came into play as far as Aircel Max's deal, in 2017 it is linked to 41 companies. Sir, there is a serious problem.
No, point two.
Okay,
Mr. Chidambaram was a clean and honest person. They wanted to eliminate
I wish
so
to
that
say
the Congress
something.
won't have a good
1 minute. I just want to remind Mr. Dhananjay. Mr. Dhananjay,
fear in the minds of the
okay, Mr.
Congress leader.
Dhananjay, you made a point that this is being done at the BS and the instructions of the government. I asked you for evidence. You didn't have any. I will tell you when the evidence of that emerged, sir. The evidence of that emerged during the coal scam investigation.
Tomorrow I will give it to you.
Listen to me. Yeah, please do. You should have come with that evidence today, because all day the Congress party and the Chidambaram family has been saying that. So I say, give us the evidence, because the evidence was there when the top court, when the Supreme Court said this during the coal scam investigation. So listen to me now, sir. This is what they said. What business does the JS of PMO and Coal Ministry have to go to the CBI and look at the draft status report? What business do they have on this earth? Do they have to go to the CBI and tell them to make changes in the draft status report? This is what the top court asked. And this is the evidence of interference by the government. And this happened in UP's term. So, sir, if you want to sit here and make the same allegations tonight, please come with evidence to prove that, and we will take up that evidence. Mr. Zafar Sareshwala, you wanted to make a point, and then Ravi Srivastava, please.
Gaurav Bhatia, coming to you after this, sir, please.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
But first, Zafar, yes.
There is no... See, why you want to make such a hue and cry? If you don't have anything to hide, everything will come out. Just because CBI has come to your house, I mean, CBI cannot come. The investigating agencies cannot even ask a question. You know, the worst form of vendetta politics was practiced during those last 10 years. Even if you said, Gujarat ki sadkein achhi hain, income tax would be after you. If you said, Musalmanon ne tarakki ki hai Gujarat mein, you had to lose the chancellorship of Darul Deoband. If you said, governance is very good in Gujarat, then SEBI enforcement would be after you. So the worst form of vendetta politics, even Mr. Modi, he was put to the worst form of scrutiny for 10 years. So the vendetta politics was practiced between 2004 and 2014. So now even if somebody asks a question, I mean, we can't even, the government cannot even ask a question to you. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. And if you have anything to hide.
Zafar Sareshwala is speaking from his heart. I'm reminded of Mr. Chidambaram. He said, pinch a dagger through my heart. But right now you have Zafar Sareshwala speaking from his heart. आप बीती बता रहे हैं. जो उन पर खुद बीती है वही बता रहे हैं. He's talking from personal experience. Actual vendetta जिसने भुगता है वो जानता है what is vendetta. That is the point.
जफर साहब एक सवाल का जवाब देंगे आप मुझे कि मोदी जी भ्रष्टाचार के इतने खिलाफ थे, 10 साल तक उन्होंने गुजरात के अंदर लोकपाल क्यों नहीं बनने दिया? और अभी भी 3 साल के बाद भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट से फटकार पड़ी है कि लोकपाल बनाइए फौरन, ना खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा। ये जुमला कब तक सुनाएंगे आप और किसे सुनाएंगे? इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है।
This is one
सीबीआई
point well made.
सीबीआई का इस्तेमाल अपनों को बचाने के लिए और दूसरों को फंसाने के लिए, इसके लिए किया जाता है। पिछली सरकार ने भी किया है और अब आप भी वही कर रहे हैं। ना करते, मैं बताऊं, इस सब के साथ में जो लालू या चिदंबरम जी के साथ कर रहे हैं, अगर यही बीजेपी के 3 सीएम के साथ भी आपने किया होता तो हम बड़ी खुशी से कहते कि हाँ, अब आप ना खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा के फार्मूले पे आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
हाँ,
आप
इनको घूम फिर के उनको वही 3 सीएम याद आते हैं, जफर सरेश वाला,
पकड़िए,
एंड उसमें भी फैक्ट्स
ये मत करिए,
उसमें भी फैक्ट्स लिमिटेड है। लेकिन दिस इज अमेजिंग लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, वी आर डिस्कसिंग यूपीए एंड चिदंबरम फाइल्स, बट घूम फिर के सुई इनकी मोदी पर ही अटकती है। दिस इज फैंटास्टिक गौरव भाटिया, एंड आई हैव सीन दैट एवरी टाइम। जो ऑपोजिशन में है, जो विपक्ष में है, घूम फिर के उनकी सुई मोदी पे अटकती है। एंड गौरव भाटिया, as I come to you, final comment, he said, पिछली सरकार ने भी ऐसा किया, आपकी सरकार ने भी ऐसा ही किया। बिल्कुल, आपकी सरकार ने भी ऐसा ही किया, because the spy file, the spies which were created to do wrong foot now. So, तो आपकी सरकार ने भी वैसा ही किया, and the pun was intended. Yes, गौरव भाटिया, go ahead please.
Yeah, I find it very ironical that some of the panelists, rather than questioning the conduct of the Congress leaders who have given India the biggest scams of the century, like 2G, Colgate, CWG, are questioning the efficiency and action of CBI. Second, if their argument is right, how is it that very, very fearful opponents or critics of Mr. Narendra Modi, like Mr. Nitish Kumar and many other leaders of the Congress, are not facing any investigation from the CBI? That's because CBI decides its own course of action and the government has no interference. Third, I would also let them know there are BJP leaders against whom CBI cases have been registered under this government. That itself shows that CBI is independent. And last but not the least, regarding appointment of Lokpal that was being said, Lokpal was not being appointed because as per the statutory provision, the Congress failed to get even 1/10 of the seats, and they were less than 54. And therefore, the Supreme Court has now ruled just a few days back that it is not a bar from appointing a leader of opposition, and a Lokpal should be appointed. And now the government, taking cognizance of the order, will appoint a Lokpal. If you are not aware of the legal proceedings, we can't help you.
To respond to what you said, and then we wrap up. Mr. Dhananjay.
And as Mr. Dhananjay speaks, 30 seconds, let's put out what the Janta Ki Adalat has also said to our question. Let's put out involve.in. You can engage actively. The question we have put, and we're putting out the sentiment live. People are watching this broadcast. Mr. Dhananjay are saying it. So if you have the TV as you speak, please take a look.
Kindly remember, there's a BJP agenda is to see that Congress Mukta Bharat. On that line, they're going towards that. That's why they attacked the BJP. That's why they attacked the Congress leader, such a great personality like Chidambaram.
I'm sure you are worried. I'm sure you particularly are worried about that, sir. Okay. So the point you're making is about Congress Mukta Bharat, and that's BJP's agenda.
Are you from Congress
Even
by any
before
chance?
this crackdown happened, or the one on Robert Vadra and BS Huda happened, let me remind you, the Congress has already been reduced to 2 or 3 states now, Anand, if I'm correct. Karnataka and Punjab primarily, and that's about it. So I don't think BJP has to do anything additionally. वो तो कांग्रेस अपने आप ही करती जा रही है. Congress and Congress's loyalists, as the people will tell you in that involved live poll, that the Congress loyalists are actually denting the image of the Gandhis more. They don't need any outsiders to do any further damage. It is all being done internally. There you go. That's the response we've got tonight. 87% say yes. The credibility has been dented, and the question there was, are their own loyalists really denting their credibility?
Yes, and there are many who believe that the biggest champions of the BJP are within the Congress party. But let's see what they do about the Chidambaram files, the investigating authorities and what they have decided. Thank you to all our panelists. Gaurav Bhatia has just left. Thank you.